So today I want to be talking about a topic that's all too familiar to the beginner YouTubers, and that is, you're not bad at YouTube, you're just overwhelmed. I mean, I get it. You get tons of advice out there, and you've done it all. You've posted the videos, you've put in the hours, yet the results, they don't match the effort. Many creators feel stuck even after posting the videos. This creates confusion and doubt because there are no results. The thing is, you're not alone. And that feeling stuck is just a part of the journey. It's normal. The problem is too much advice, yet too little clarity. There is a ton of advice on YouTube on how to succeed on YouTube. That's overwhelming amount of advice. And everybody's saying, you know, titles, thumbnails, oh, it's like you start looking and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? So the problem is that most creators consume endless advice, tutorials, gurus, tips. I mean, even you guys looking at me here, I mean, that's no difference. But each video suggests a different focus. And instead of clarity, this creates confusion. The viewer begins to feel like they're always behind or they're always missing out on something important. Does that sound familiar? Endless tutorials, zero direction, conflicting strategies from the creators you trust, and trying everything and mastering nothing. So essentially, you're just drowning in the forest full of useful and actionable advice. And you know, when everything feels urgent, the stakes are high, there's so many good creators out there. So how do you stand out? How do you progress? You know, everything is stressing you. You know, titles, thumbnails, lighting and gear, editing. It's totally overwhelming, and I get it. Without knowing the priority orders, creators try improving everything. And that spreads their energy thin and slows progress dramatically because they don't know what to focus on. The advice comes: for the titles, you have to rewrite endlessly before publishing. Thumbnails, hours on design before a single view. Lighting and gear, chasing all that cool equipment, spending tons of money. Editing, learning and doing the perfect cuts, but nobody will notice them yet because the sequence is not solved. And the frustration builds when efforts don't lead to results. Many creators quit there, not because they lack skill, but because they lack direction and feedback. Here, I would like to do analysis. For example, doing YouTube is like somebody telling you, run. The problem is, if you don't know what you're running, what your destination is, and what your intermediate stops are, you'll be spinning in circles. And that's the problem. So overwhelm doesn't slow growth, it completely stops it dead in its tracks. When everything feels important, nothing gets done. Videos get delayed, ideas get overthought, momentum disappears, and with it your confidence. The problems are overthinking. Every decision becomes a debate with yourself. Delayed publishing, weeks pass without a single upload. And the burnout risk exhaustion before even gaining traction. And that sometimes leads to why the most creators actually quit. It's very rarely about the talent. Most creators quit because they run out of direction, they're just running in circles, they're getting lost. The problem is that the progress is completely invisible. They put in the effort, but the results don't show up fast enough. Second is that there is no useful feedback. Without a clear path, you don't know what's working. Or maybe it's even working, but you're looking at the wrong place. And of course, that results that motivation fades. Frustration replaces the excitement that used to be there, that started it all, that brought you to YouTube in the first place. So the key thing is focus. And focus changes everything. When creators work on one skill at a time, and if it's the right skill that you should be sharpening, improvement becomes visible and motivating. Simplicity reduces stress and builds confidence. So just think about it. Chaos mode would be trying 10 things at once, no measurable progress, stress and self-doubt. Of course, you're spread too thin. And when you're trying to do 10 things, you're the jack of all trades and master of none. But the focus mode, it puts like a tunnel vision, one skill sharpened at a time. You're sharpening it until you get a little bit good at it. And then the progress is visible, motivating, and confidence compounds with clarity. When you narrow down your focus, then every repetition counts. Progress becomes visible, and visible progress keeps you motivated, keeps you going. So the thing is that growth happens in sequence. It isn't random, it follows a predictable sequence, but only the people who have been long enough and endured actually realize it. And I'm trying really hard to explain this because I'm trying to explain it to my former self. I wish I had this advice when I was starting. So, growth happens in sequence. Publishing builds habit. Packaging builds clicks. Retention builds watch times. Skills stack. They don't overlap, and that's the key thing. A simplified path helps creators stay consistent, clear priorities, reduce burnout, and increase the output quality over time. So what I want you to focus on is consistency first, build the muscle of publishing, building videos, then learn to read the data and understand the feedback so you can track the right metrics and see that if you're improving or not. Remember, goal without metrics, you might be progressing towards the goal, but you don't know if you are progressing or if you're progressing fast enough or even if you're progressing in the right direction. And then step 3 comes with sustainable pace. It's a growth that doesn't burn you out because you're focusing on a single thing, and that's really important at this stage in journey. So the key takeaways I want you to have from this lesson is that focus beats effort. Working harder on wrong things keeps you stuck. Focus work on the right thing moves you forward. Second thing is clarity beats chaos. Clarity drives growth. When you know exactly what to improve, every video becomes a lesson, not a gamble. You don't just post a video and nail-bitingly hoping that it becomes something. For example, I will be experimenting with different types of thumbnails, but I will be monitoring my CTR to see if I'm progressing. The one that has the best CTR has the reasons, and then I'm going to analyze it, see what make it clickable. So that's clarity. And then in the end, simplicity sustains. A simple, repeatable system outlasts any burst of motivation. Consistency wins long term. So, if you're ready for a structured path, I would like to invite you to my YouTube Operator Academy. So the YouTube Operator Academy is a community on Skool of like-minded individuals whose whole purpose is to grow on YouTube without the risk of overwhelm. The curriculum is set up in that way where it handholds you step by step. Each step is outlined, what you need to do, and the next step guides you, step-by-step guide. And that's one of the key benefits that I believe is missing from all the other advice. It makes it unique. You have the curriculum and you know what is each of the next step. So each next step is always defined. And step-by-step progress builds momentum and gives you clarity. So you will always know what is your next step, what you need to do, where you're gonna monitor it. And that, in my opinion, is the main advantage of the YouTube Operator Academy, which is my Skool Community, which I've built aimed at people like me. 12 years ago when I was just starting on YouTube, I was just trying and experimenting. This way, with the YouTube Operator Academy, you don't have to. It gives you clear roadmap, sequence curriculum, and community to stop guessing and start growing at a pace that's built to last. And of course, I'm in there. If you have questions, I can help you out. So if you're interested, join the YouTube Operator Academy. Link will be provided in the description below and in the pinned comment, and I'll see you there.